Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, this is Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things underneath the common sense lens. And ladies and gentlemen, I have never hidden the fact that I am a DC fanboy, right? And I am cautiously optimistic about the future of DC. Now, obviously, I watched Creature Commandos. We reviewed that on Thursdays with Sunker, and wasn't really all that impressed, to say the least. But the Clayface movie out there has one of my favorite writers, directors, creators out there behind it, that wrote the script for it. And it's one of them situations where I am cautiously optimistic about that. I really like Flanagan's work. He's done some incredible stuff in the past when he's written television shows for Netflix and stuff like that. And he really does understand the horror genre very well, without going over the top with it, making things gross and weird and wild like some of the other stuff you see out there in the world, which of course there's a place and time for that, but I don't think DC's Clayface is exactly the one for that kind of thing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like things are moving ahead quite well, because the Clayface movie has now found its director, at least according to the Hollywood trades organizations out there, because Deadline and I believe the Hollywood Reporter was the first one to break this, but needless to say, this is information that hasn't been confirmed by DC yet, right? So obviously take it with a grain of salt, but if the trades are reporting it, they're 99.9% sure it's an actual legit done deal. So we've got this headline over here from Deadline. James Watkins lands a Clayface directing gig. So yes, boys and girls, they've got some information on some of the stuff that he's done in the past, and that'll give us a fair idea as to whether or not think this will actually end up being a good fit and whether or not he can actually pull this off. So we're going to check out this article from Deadline.com, getting all the juicy details. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing, just crossed 1,600 on our way to 17, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. What do you think about this? Have you seen any of these products that James Watkins has directed or written or be creatively responsible for in the past? Do you think this will end up being a good fit? Do you think the Clayface movie actually sounds intriguing? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. And if you'd like to support the channel, please check out the links in the description as well. All right, from Deadline.com and Matt Grobar. James Watkins is set to direct Clayface, DC's creature feature scripted by Mike Flannagan. Sources have confirmed to Deadline. DC Studios declined to comment. And yeah, they're going to, because James Gunn wants his 15 minutes in the spotlight to bring the guy out and introduce him and go, yeah, this is going to be a great fit, and yada, yada, yada. He's a narcissist. What do we expect? We were recently first to tell you that both Watkins and Jeff Wadlow were among those in the mix to helm the Clayface film. Now that a director is set, casting can proceed. DC co-bosses James Gunn and Peter Safran will produce alongside the Batman helmer Matt Reeves and Lynn Harris, with Chandra Long serving as an executive producer. Flanagan was never expected to direct the project himself, given his commitment to projects including Universal's new Exorcist film, which, considering the fact that Flanagan's behind that, like, I know we all hate remakes and redos and stuff like that, but Flanagan's probably going to do a really, really good job. But I mean, it's going to be kind of hard to beat the original and the horror that did. But hey, if anybody can pull it off, it might be Flanagan. Clayface is rumored to be a horror thriller tragedy, with the lead protagonist not expected to be portrayed as the notorious villain he'd known as the Batman canon. The film is slated to hit theaters on September 11th, 2026. The character got his DC introduction as part of Detective Comics number 40 in June of 1940. That always boggles my mind, how long some of these characters have been around. I mean, 1940 for Clayface, because I mean, I'm a Batman the Animated Series kid, right? I'm starting now as an adult. I'm starting to find some time and some extra money to go back and read a lot of the classic comics that I missed. And of course, we've got 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser's comic shop, Clobby's Clubhouse, on Friday nights, which you should join us over there on that. Check out 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser's channel, where we go through and like review and read old comics. We've been going through a lot of ASM lately. Just a lot of good times over there if you're into comics, or maybe if you're not even into comics, you just like the artwork, because some of the art from back in the day is absolutely glorious. That's how I started watching the show. But so I love the fact that Clayface is that around. Originally, he was portrayed as a moderately successful actor who adopted the identity of a character he portrayed in a horror pick after turning to crime. He was body seemingly made out of clay and has appeared over the years in various film series, animated works, video games, and other forms of media. So it's one of them things, the lead's not expected to be portrayed as the notorious villain he's known as in the Batman canon, so it's going to be a horror thriller tragedy, so I guess maybe by the end of it, he'll turn into a villain. I don't know. I really am sick and tired of the sympathetic villain thing, so I really hope this director and the writer actually figure out a better way to go with that and actually have him turn into be a villain at the end, because that's what he's supposed to be. Unless this is supposed to be part of the Matt Reeves one-off universe, I have no idea. Honestly, the canon's so confusing at this point. Watkins is coming off of Speak No Evil, Universal's remake of the hit Danish horror film from Christian Talbot, which grossed over $76 million worldwide last fall, which for a horror movie, that's not bad, especially if the budget wasn't very high. And that's why a lot of these companies do horror movies, because you can generally do them on the cheap and you're almost guaranteed to make a profit, because horror fans are horror fans, man. They'll show up to just about anything, and God bless them, we all love them for it, too. Previously, the multi-hyphenated co-creator, the AMC series McMafia, never heard of it, as well as directing like Eden Lake, The Woman in Black, and The Take. Additional TV credits include The Ipcris Files and Black Mirror. And I've never watched Black Mirror, but I've heard a lot of crazy things about it, how it's kind of wild and nuts. So maybe this will be a good fit for him as well. And, of course, The Hollywood Reporter was the first to the news of the Clayface director deal. So that's what we've got. It looks like we found our director, boys and girls. I'm not entirely sure how we're going to feel about the movie just yet, but a lot of things could change between now and then. The director could have some things rewritten. We could do something to actually end up being a villain at the end properly. But needless to say, that's the news we've got for you, boys and girls. James Watkins is officially attached. Well, not officially, but according to all of the trade magazines. So it's basically official. They're not going to put it out there. They're not My Time to Shine. Hello, right? They're not some of these other guys out there. They're not going to put stuff out without their beyond a shadow of doubt. But my understanding was My Time to Shine Hello might have actually known about this beforehand as well. But needless to say, we've got our director, boys and girls. It looks like he's got some decent credentials behind him, and hopefully he can give us a good quality Clayface movie out there in the horror genre that it absolutely belongs in. Because, boys and girls, I want DC to be good. I want this stuff to end up doing well. I want it to succeed because I want to have good quality DC products once again. Hopefully this new director can do it for us, but at the end of the day, the fans will decide, and we will let them know exactly what we think either way this ends up going.